It is time for my Q&A. I'm going to chew a little bit of this Trident bubblegum and answer some of your questions, which I'm excited about. Okay. I was on the wrong video. I thought I was on the right video. Okay. So, I'm going to go through these. Some of these questions I might not give a long answer to. And some of these questions I might need to elaborate on in another video. But I'm going to do my best to answer your questions. So, first, what is your favorite sweet treat and favorite salty snack? This changes for me, but I would say you can never go wrong with a chocolate chip cookie for me. I love chocolate chip cookies. And then candy, like candy type, like Dove chocolate, I love. I like gummies, like I'm trying to think of what those gummy bears are called that come in the red and white bag. I like those a lot. Or sour candy. And then the salty snack, I love just like plain potato chips. Or tortilla chips. Something crunchy. What is your go-to gas station snack plus drink for the road? That's a good question. I don't normally get snacks at gas stations, but I'm trying to think. A good like road trip snack for me, I really like Cheez-Its. So I might get like a thing of Cheez-Its. Yeah. And then if I was going to get a drink at a gas station, I would get a Dr. Pepper. That's my favorite soft drink. Normally, I do coffee, black coffee. So like if we're at a gas station that I know has like decent coffee, sometimes I'll get that. Like Pilot, they usually have decent coffee there. Yeah, but love Dr. Pepper. What TV show series are you currently interested in? I'm trying to watch more of The Chosen. I haven't finished season 4, so I'm trying to catch back up on that. I actually heard a really good idea. I was listening to an Annie F. Downs podcast, and she was saying that her plan for Lent is to start on Ash Wednesday with season 1, episode 1 of The Chosen. And if you watch them Monday through Friday, then you would watch all of it, all of seasons 1 through 4 by the Thursday before Easter. And I was like, that's a good idea. I might do that because my husband was wanting to start it over. Anyway, so maybe we could do that together. Another one, I know we're behind the times on this, but we recently started The Bear on Hulu. It's a stressful show. If you have watched that, you know. But it's really good. I really like it. We're still only in season 1. I don't know how many seasons there are, but it's good. We also, last night, just started season 2 of Night Agent. Season 2 just came out on Netflix. It's a pretty cheesy show, to be honest, but it's decent. Another one that we're watching on Apple TV is called Severance. Season 2 is releasing every Friday right now. And so we're watching that. And then a super funny show that we're watching right now on Peacock as it gets released is St. Denis Medical Center. It cracks me up, the humor. I don't know why. I'll be laugh crying. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but you should check it out if you just want a funny, quick show. And then this person's last question is, what is the history or meaning behind your YouTube channel name, ASMR North? So, I could not think of a name. And this was years and years and years and years ago when I first started my channel. And then I only did a few videos, and then it was years before I came back to the channel. But I was so nervous when I first created it about people finding out information about me. So I was just trying to think of something that was opposite of where I was, which is the South. You now know. And I know that I tried other names and they were taken, and I could not think of what to do, so I just ended up with ASMR North. It kind of flowed off my tongue, and I was just like, I'm not from the North. Yeah, there's not a super crazy significance for it. If I was starting my channel now, it would probably be something different, but here we are. Okay, somebody asked, what do you think of Trump, Biden, etc.? And this is one of those where I don't know. I hesitate to answer because first of all, I'm not a very political person. I used to try to be in the know about what was going on, and I realized that it really just gave me anxiety and added stress to my life. So I try not to read things, and I'm not really on social media. I don't read the news. If something is really important, my husband just like tells me something that's going on. I think it's important to be aware, but I do think that we live in this consumerist culture that's just like, we were never meant to have the access to the kind of information that we have, and so it's just overwhelming. But the truth of the matter is, I really like struggle with politics. You know, there's good and bad things about everyone in the world, but I'm a Christian, and I believe in kindness and love and human decency and treating people with love and respect, no matter who they are, where they're from, what they do. Like, we are all part of this beautiful human race, and there are things that happen in every administration that really make me sad. And I just try as hard as I can not to dwell on those things, and to just do the best I can in my little corner of the world to love people. And to find common ground with people. Because I know people who, if they find out you're a Trump fan or a Biden fan or a Harris fan or whatever, they write you off, and they are like, yeah, I can't talk to you. And I don't like that. I think that we should try to find common ground and see the ways that we are all alike instead of focusing on the differences. And I think that politics is a very divisive thing, and that makes me really sad. So I hope that's a good enough answer for you. I know it's not straightforward, but I don't want to invite confrontation into this space. Those are my beliefs and kind of like how I view the world. So, okay. Do you have any advice or tips for young people traveling Europe, and any recommendations of things to see or places to go? Oh, such an exciting question. Yeah, so if you are going on like a big trip, get a good backpacking backpack. The brand that I took at the time when I was backpacking through Europe was a Kelty brand, Kelty, but I know there are lots of really good brands. But something, it's got to be big enough to fit stuff you need for weeks, but like, try to layer clothes, rewear clothes, like be smart about, because you're going to be carrying that on your back. If you're backpacking, I guess this doesn't specifically say backpacking, but if you are. Be very aware of your surroundings always. That would be a really big tip that I would give young people traveling Europe. I would recommend going with people, going in a group, not by yourself. I would recommend not eating at the places that you know, like chain restaurants and things like that, but trying to immerse yourself into the culture as much as you possibly can so that you can, try different things. And, you'll always have the other stuff at home, but it's such a cool experience to be able to be in a different place. So try to eat the food that the people who live there eat. Ask locals for recommendations. In traveling Europe, one of my favorite places is Cinque Terre in Italy. The 5 cities along the coast. So if you're going to Italy, don't miss that. It's so beautiful. I would really like to go back there one day with my husband. I've been there twice, but it was before my husband and I were married. He's never been to Italy. Yeah, just try to go off the beaten path sometimes and discover things that aren't on the top 10 things to do. Try to ask local people about the prettiest beach or the prettiest, hiking place or the best food. Ask people around. Yeah. I hope you're going to travel soon. It's so fun. Somebody said, how many pigeons would you have to find in your home before you start thinking someone was putting them there? I would say 2. The first one would think it was a fluke. The second one, I'm going to be very concerned. Oh, this one. What's the best advice you would give to your 18-year-old self? Man. There's so much I could tell my 18-year-old self. But I feel like the biggest thing I would try to encourage myself at that age to do is to just approach life and people with open hands and open heart. To view the world as what can I learn from you? Instead of viewing the world like you need to teach somebody something or you know what's best, but to value just what you can learn from every experience and every person. Open hands, open mind, open heart. It's okay to be wrong. So look for that. Look for ways you can learn. Which is your favorite North American writer? That is a really tough question. And if I'm thinking, he said not necessarily alive, or he or she said not necessarily alive. If I'm thinking of literature, I really love the Transcendentalists. Ralph Waldo Emerson, David Thoreau. I feel like there's so much to learn from them. I also really love F. Scott Fitzgerald. I think he was incredibly talented. I like reading his books. And then I'm trying to think of like a more modern writer that I really like. I like Anne Patchett. I think she writes really beautifully. William Kent Kruger, I think is his name. William Kent Kruger. He wrote This Tender Land. Beautiful writer. He has quite a few other books. Yeah. What is your favorite Bible verse? So I have a couple that I marked for this. Here's my Bible. Very well used, well loved. One of my favorite verses, and it's been one of my favorites for a long time. It's a few verses, but 2 Peter chapter 3, starting in verse 8. It says, "But do not overlook this one fact, beloved, that with the Lord 1 day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as 1 day. The Lord is not slow to fulfill his promise, as some count slowness, but is patient toward you, not wishing that any should perish, but that all should reach repentance." I love the 1 day with the Lord is like 1,000 years. Like 1,000 years is 1 day. He is outside of time. He created time. And I constantly have to remind myself of that because, like, I am bound by time right now. But that will not always be the case. And because he is not bound by time, there is so much I cannot understand about how he's working. And that's okay. Just to remind myself to rest in that like he is not slow in keeping his promises. He is just not bound by time. And so like he is keeping his promises. I will see the fruit of that. But it might not be on like in the timing that I wanted. And then 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, starting in verse 14 or 15. "See that no one repays anyone evil for evil, but always seek to do good to one another and to everyone. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." I love that. I feel like it's really practical advice on how to live. Be joyful always. I have that actually as a tattoo on my back in Chinese. I got it when I was in China. Be joyful always. And just don't repay evil for evil. Be kind to everyone. Give thanks. Pray. I love that verse, those verses. What grade did I used to teach? I've taught freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors, but primarily with English. I taught juniors and seniors. I taught freshmen and sophomores like speech and creative writing, but English I did juniors and seniors. And then when I taught online, I taught 8th grade. Do you think you'll ever go back to teaching? Do you miss it? I think it's possible I will go back to teaching. I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I've just always wanted to stay home. But sometimes I miss like the feeling of the financial the aspect of giving to my family. Like sometimes I miss that. But I could see myself going back. Like if I decide not to homeschool and my kids go to school, I could see teaching online. Because teaching online was the lowest stress teaching I've ever done. There were frustrating things and like annoying things, but like very low stress. So I think like as a mom, probably teaching online. And it says, were you always a religious person? Yes, I've always been a very spiritual person, which is different than religious. Like, there's the connotations I feel like are a little different. I grew up very religious, and I don't view myself as very religious now. I view myself more as just spiritually in tune with the Lord and with other people. We created religion. Humans created religion. That wasn't from God. And we put rules and markers and things on stuff that He never asked us to. So, but I grew up in a Christian home, yes, and I've always been a believer. Thank God. I have rediscovered my faith in different ways, like throughout my life, and I've grown so much as a person, but I've always believed in God. Yeah. So the next person asked, what does your religion mean to you? Why do you believe in God? Good questions. Yeah, the more life experience I have, the more I feel affirm in that belief. I mean, when you look around you and you see the intricacies of creation, there's got to be a creator. Like, I just can't imagine all the different species in the animals and all the different types of plants and flowers and trees, that it's an accident. I cannot buy into that. Anytime I doubt, and I do doubt, looking at creation alone really affirms to me that there's a creator. And even, and you know, those things I mentioned are not even considering the human body. When you think about the human body and how phenomenal it is, just crazy that we exist and that we function the way we do, and that these body parts and organs do things for us to keep us alive. Like, it's so bizarre. And to me, like, God and science work hand in hand. I'm a big believer in that. Like, that God works with science. Like, that science points to God to me. Yeah. It's amazing. And to me, it's such a full life, a beautiful life to hold on to that hope of being with the creator of the universe forever. How amazing is that? In a new body, on a new earth. And sometimes I just imagine the places I'll get to see when I'm in eternity, like traveling and seeing all the parts of the world that I haven't gotten to see on this life. And being able to be close to animals that right now are like predators, but that won't be so in heaven. Like, and the scriptures say the lion will lie down with the lamb. Like, the beautiful imagery of just like existing in a perfect place. What a beautiful hope to live your life with. It's a beautiful life. Yeah, I would love to talk about that more. They said, can we someday meet your husband in a video? I have asked him, y'all. I can keep trying, but he says no. Right now, he says no. He's funny. Show us some of your house. Maybe I could do that. I have to be very careful because I don't want to show any images of my children. Or like personal things that could be identifiers of my children, where we are. But I could very carefully try to do that, show some of our house to you. Thank you for that. How old are the twins? They're 19 months now. Yeah, they'll be 2 August 5th. So crazy. They're getting around and doing so many things, y'all. Do I have any pets? Yes, I have a dog. He is a boxer hound mix. His name is Coda. He's got a brindle coat. He's beautiful. He weighs like 45 pounds. Like a medium-sized, short-haired dog. We've had him for like 10 years. Well, 9 years. I guess 9. Yeah. Did I play any sports or instruments now or as a kid? I played basketball. And then I know a little bit of guitar. I learned in college. I'm not good at it, but I know a little bit, like enough to play a few songs. I took piano lessons as a kid. I really wish I had stuck with it. I just know a few songs. I would love to be able to play piano. And what is the most fulfilling part about YouTube? I don't know if you mean like doing a YouTube channel. If that's what you mean, then I would say, like for me in this season of life, being a stay-at-home mom, this is such a wonderful and fun way to like connect with other adults. Since I'm with my kids all day, every day, like it's kind of an outlet for me to be able to like share and talk and have adult conversation, even though I'm just like talking on my own. But like when you guys respond and comment and like are engaged, that's fulfilling for me to feel like I'm, you know, having these conversations with other adults. It's awesome. Top 5 Trader Joe's items. I really love, I love their fall stuff. So like the pumpkin cookies, the shortbread cookies that are covered in like a pumpkin spice icing. Love those. And then in the winter time when they do that same shortbread cookie but with a gingerbread icing type thing. Love those. Chocolate covered almonds, the sea salt chocolate covered almonds. We eat those, are a staple in our house. Super good. I really like the cilantro lime salad dressing. It's really fresh. Oh, there's more than 5, but I like those Asian noodles, that pack of Asian noodles I got recently. Those are I look for those now every time I go. Their tortilla chips, the like tortilla chip brand that they have. That's 6 things, I guess, but those are like the things we look for every time we go. And then there are other things that we just stumble on or whatever, but and some things that they just have sometimes that aren't like always there that we love when then we see them. I will say this, y'all. We just got their orange chicken. I made that last night. Yeah, it was last night. It was so amazing. It was the best orange chicken that I've like made at home. So if you like orange chicken, try it from Trader Joe's. It is so good. I like cooked the chicken on the stovetop. And then you just heat up the sauce, and I made fried rice to go with it. It was so delicious. The sauce is so good. What inspired me to start my ASMR channel? I loved ASMR. So, for me, it was like a way to kind of engage in that, on that side of it. And then, you're not like profitable for a long time, but I did hope that one day I would be profitable and be able to do that. So I'm very thankful for that. As a stay-at-home mom, it's very helpful to like try to help my family by making a little bit of money on the side. How did I meet my husband? I'm pretty sure I did a video about that. I'll give the short version here because this video is getting really long. He was friends with my cousin, and my cousin went to college with me. And so my now husband would come visit my cousin, and we got to know each other that way, and we would all just hang out together. So we were friends for years before we started dating. He used to be a youth pastor, so when I was doing my mission work and teaching in China, he reached out to me to like talk about my mission there, and we started Skyping. And then after that is when we started dating, when I got back home from China. Yeah. A fun fact about me that you guys would be surprised to hear. I often mismatch my socks, like on purpose. If I have Bombas socks on, that's a brand of sock that's super nice. It feels like a hug for your foot. It's my favorite, but they're expensive. But it's like buy a pair, give a pair to somebody in need. But anyway, if I'm not wearing Bombas socks, then it is very likely that my socks do not match, because that's just a quirky thing about me. I've been like that since like high school probably, where I like for my socks to be mismatched. So weird. What was my strangest pregnancy craving? I don't think I had really like crazy stuff. I didn't like mix weird stuff, but I loved pickles, dill pickles, and drinking dill pickle juice. Oh, so good. If I hadn't become a teacher, what job would I have chosen? I would have loved to own a coffee shop and just like made really good coffee and like have books in my shop. That was like a dream. My favorite gift I've ever been given. Honestly, the thing I use the most is my Kindle. My grandmother gave it to me when I graduated college, and I still have it, and I use it every day. What is my favorite type of French fry? That's a good question. I like seasoned fries, like when they have seasoning on them, like the Rally's fries. Those are my favorite fries to buy and make at home. So I love when fries are seasoned like that. But I love like McDonald's French fries, the thin French fries too. Favorite movie is About Time. It has Domhnall Gleeson and Rachel McAdams in it. Love that movie. Favorite TV show of all time? The Office. Oh, guys, I might have to do a part 2. I think I'm gonna have to do a part 2 to this because I'm not close to being done. I'll say I'm over halfway done, but I'm not close to being done. So I'm gonna have to turn this into another video. I've already made this so long, I probably should have thought about that before and divided it up evenly, but part 2 coming soon. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all your questions.